Good evening and welcome to the February 26, 2026 special meeting of the, I'm sorry, wrong script. Good evening and welcome to the January 22nd, 2026 regular meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission held at 7 p.m. in room 133 of Brookfield Town Hall and streamed live on YouTube. Please rise if you are able to recite the Pledge of Allegiance of the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. First, I'll have the members of the Planning and Zoning Commission present here this evening introduce themselves, starting from my left.
Dionisio Fontana, alternate.
Anthony Papucci, Secretary.
Kurt Timmerman, Chair.
Scott Dale, Vice Chair.
Sean Turner, member.
Mark Loengart, member.
Also present this evening is our Land Use Director, Laura Brakowski, and our Recording Secretary, Elizabeth Adams. Tonight, Dionisio Fontana will be a voting member. There's copies of the agenda up here on the table. Feel free to take one. So let's see, today, review of the minutes from January 8th, 2026. Do I have a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
All right, thanks, Tony. Second?
I'll second.
All right, thank you, Mark. I have one change on lines 65 and 66. I would strike those two lines and add and replace them with more conforming and the neighbor's property will remain conforming, so that the entire last sentence of that paragraph would read, the lot line revision would make 7 Dorset Lane's property existing non-conforming and an R80 zone more conforming, and the neighbor's property will remain conforming. Any other, because the way it was worded, it wasn't clear. Anybody else have any amendments that they saw? No, all in favor of the minutes as amended, say aye.
Aye.
All right, unanimous. All right, no correspondence today, no continued public hearings, and we have a public hearing 58317. Oh, I need the script.
It's in file.
Oh, all right, thanks. I read my script before you guys come up. Thanks, Laura. This is a regular meeting of the Brookfield Planning and Zoning Commission. At this point in our agenda, we have scheduled a public hearing concerning the application of 317 Federal Road, Chris Hune of MK Care for Kids for PB Federal LLC, 125 South Street, Danbury, application Z-25-68, for a special permit with design review for a Taekwondo studio and child care facility. First, again, I'll have the members of the commission introduce themselves, starting from my left.
Dionisio Fontana.
Anthony Papucci, Secretary.
Kurt Timmerman, Chair.
Scott Dale, Vice Chair.
Sean Turner, member.
Mark Loengart, member.
Thank you. I will ask the commission secretary to read the public notice. Do I have it? I must have it in here somewhere. Here it is. Oh, sorry, wrong way.
You give it to him.
Well, you used to sit, Sean used to sit to my,
They want to take away
the
from
old
spotlight.
secretary used to.
Like I said, I'm with you on
I
that.
got confused.
This was sent to the News Time Legals. To notice the Brookfield Planning and Zoning Commission will hold public hearing in room 133 at Town Hall, 100 Pocono Road at 7 p.m. on January 22nd, 2026 for a special permit and design review for application Z-25-68, 317 Federal Road by Chris Hune of MK Care for Kids for PB Federal LLC, 125 South Danbury, for a Taekwondo studio and child care facility. At this hearing, interested parties may appear and be heard, and any written communication received, files will be available for inspection at Town Hall Land Use.
Thank you, Tony. This application was formally received by the Commission on January 8th, 2026. The public hearing is only one aspect of the approval process and is for the purposes of accepting factual information and data bearing on this application and to allow expression of opinion by interested parties. Subsequent to this hearing, the Commission has 65 days in which to render a decision on the proposal. The final decision may be in the form of approved as submitted, approved with stipulations, or denied. After reading into the record the correspondence received by the Commission relative to this application, we will ask the applicant to present the application in detail. Presentation will be limited to 45 minutes. The Chair will then entertain questions of clarification concerning the applicant's presentation. We will then hear from those who wish to speak in favor of the application, followed by those who are opposed. Comments must be limited to 5 minutes. Members of the public will have one opportunity to speak during this segment of the hearing and may also submit their concerns in writing during the public hearing. During this segment, the commissioners may ask additional questions. The bylaws of the commission only allow for the presentation of similar positions in succession and preclude the intermixture of comments, pro or con. All questions and comments must be directed through the chair. As you are recognized, please state your name and address so the comments may be legally recorded. Please be assured that everyone will be given the opportunity to speak. However, the Commission is most interested in hearing factual information relative to the application, and in view of the time constraints placed upon us, we ask your indulgence in not reiterating comments previously presented. After the public comments are received, the applicant will have the opportunity to comment, and the time will be limited to 10 minutes. Are there any questions on the rules?
Bring back the birds of Venice.
Oh, okay. Let the record show that Greg Piccioni
Sorry, sir.
has arrived. He's a regular member, so he's also voting because we have, what, 1, 2, 3, yeah, 6 voting members. I don't think there's any correspondence. Laura, is there? No, I don't think so. All right, so I'm now prepared. If you'd like the applicant come up and to the podium, state your name and address, and tell us about your application.
So my name is Mr. Chris Hyun. I've been running taekwondo school at 317 Federal Road in Brookfield and raised 3 kids in Brookfield. So meaning for the application was to help out the parents with the, being economy being low. Having a license will help the parents to apply for the grants for the state, and that way they can have more options to get the help. And this is it says daycare center license, but we are not going to do daycare. We're not opening during the school hours. It's just a before and after school care for only school-aged students from 5 to 13 years old. So it's very specific, and I know I'm not going to be changing anything that I've been doing in that facility. So I just wanted to apply a license here and see what I can do for the helping out the parents and everything.
You mentioned helping the parents out,
Yes, sir.
and for you getting a license, it helps them to get
The
grants to
there's,
pay for the daycare?
Yes, sir. There's 2-on-1 care, 2-on-1 kids and care for kids
Mhm.
in state running by, and then they can apply for the grants and they can get help from them.
All right, so,
And only license holder can get the grants.
okay.
Yes, sir.
Only license holders can give the parents something so they can get the grants?
Yes, sir. I can offer
Oh,
more
oh,
options
okay.
for the parents.
All right.
Yes, sir.
And when would the daycare be? Before and after your classes or
So
intermixed?
before public school starts,
Yep,
and then after school. So Kendall Lake Elementary School gets out at 3:45.
yep,
So they'll be coming to my location at around 4 o'clock.
all right.
So they'll be staying till 6 p.m. if they want to, until parents gets off work, and then they'll take the classes, and then they'll go.
Is it just for your Taekwondo students, or would you be open to anybody coming in?
I think I'm going to be starting to open up to everybody, but I will let my parents, taekwondo students' parents know first,
Mhm.
and then I'll be opening to more. If I have to find out what the capacity is in my location to how many students I can have,
Yep.
then I will know by then.
And is that driven by the state requirements and regulations?
Yes, sir.
All right. Any questions from the commissioners before I ask for clarification?
Mine was the capacity,
Oh, all right.
so we've already addressed that.
Yeah.
I think we do.
How many
know that.
students do you have at a time right now compared to how many kids you may have?
For Taekwondo
yeah.
students, I have about 130 students, and they do 2 classes a week for 40 minutes a class.
Okay.
So they spread out throughout Monday to Saturdays.
And how many kids do you have per class right now?
It varies.
Yeah.
Because it's very flexible. They can pick and choose every week. I don't have set number. Okay, Monday I have this number of students attending, but normally about 8 to 15 students average.
And how many do you expect to have morning and afternoons if this goes forward?
I want to start slow, make sure we are fully adequate, adapted to the new system.
Mhm.
So I'm going to start maybe 10 students who's just doing before and after school care,
Mhm.
and then see how we can, first, get more students. Then maybe I'll be open to however many I can take.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I don't think I'll have to be taking more than 25 students.
How many supervisors do you have to?
So I have a full-time manager. She works at the Danbury High School right now, and I have instructors who's helping me with the students. Background check and everything are about four instructors right now, and I believe one instructor can take 15 students, I believe.
Depends on the age, but
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And so do they have to be state licensed?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm applying for the state.
Oh, I mean, them too, the.
Yes, sir. They have to be fully background checked and fingerprinted,
Mhm.
and then they can be just staff and volunteers too.
Yeah, okay.
As far as the age spread, how are you going to segregate, or is it going to be one group of all ages?
So, for the school age, the only, from the state regulations, very flexible. It's more easygoing because they're only staying for 2 hours after school. So after taking Taekwondo class for 40 minutes, I'm only having them maybe roughly 1 hour. So they do reading or homework. So I have 2 separate classroom I have. So I'm gonna have them reading and studying there. Or if there's not many students, then they will be in one room under Miss Liz, who's my manager, under her care. And they can also take the Taekwondo class too. So it's going to be very open, I would say.
And do you have to make any physical changes in your studio?
No, sir. Not that I'm aware of, because I had a youth camp license from
Yeah.
the state before.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir, and every inspection, everything passed before.
Okay, so this is similar use?
Yes, I'm not planning on changing any breaking on any walls or anything.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And also, the drop-off and the pickups won't change because these are the same people coming as your students for now?
Yes, sir. Right now, I don't have many students coming off the bus.
Mhm.
But if I am getting the state license, and bus companies need it for them to get them off my location.
Mhm.
So it will be through the public bus
Oh, okay.
from Brookfield.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
all right. Any other questions from the commission? Is there any questions of clarification from the audience? No. Yeah, well, then I do pro and con. So would anybody like to speak in favor of this application? If they would like to speak in favor, please come up to the podium and state your name and
Hello, I'm Manny Fernandez at 38 Junction Road. Sorry for my voice.
Mhm.
It's going a little today.
Do you mind just spelling your last name for me?
Fernandez, Fernandes.
Thank you.
And my first name is Manuel. I go by Manny.
Thank you.
So I've been a member of Master Chris's family and school for over 4 years now. I have a 7-year-old son. I started him off there over 3 years ago. He started around 4. He's going for his black belt now. And just watching the kids grow through Master Chris's family and through his tutelage, and it has been an amazing experience what he wants to do for this community, and he always talks about the community and giving back and supporting. That said, I'm blessed that I am flexible. My job is flexible to where I can get my son on the bus every morning. My son's mother is a teacher, so if I was in the same situation as she was, we would have a real problem in the morning. In the afternoon, I'm blessed because my mother comes and gets home with us. But there's a lot of people out there that I know struggle with that, with getting their children to school, when they have a job that starts earlier or later, and then in the afternoon, getting them out of school. And I know there are some limited programs at the school they do from time to time, but having a steady, something steady like this, Master Chris and continue that around, I think is a very huge benefit for our community. And I just want to make that statement, and I'm all for Master Chris's efforts here.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Anybody else like to speak in favor of the application, sir?
Good to see you, Mr. Filmer, again.
Oh.
Vishendra Kumar,
Yeah.
8A Southeast Trail.
Do you mind spelling your name for me?
Sure.
please?
BISHENDRAKOMER, last name.
Thank you.
I just wanted to say that I'm also a student of Master Chris. I spend 5 days a week at there, and the location is extremely clean, is very safe, and I hope you guys make the right decision in his favor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else like to speak? Sir, ma'am?
Hello, Terry Gensler. I'm at 6802 Road South in Brookfield.
Do you mind spelling your name for me?
Sure. First name is Terry, T-E-R-R-Y.
Okay.
Gensler is G-E-N-T-Z-L-E-R.
Thank you.
So I would just like to, I guess, provide my support for Master Chris Taekwondo Studio. I have been, my kids, twins, 10-year-old twins, have been a member of his studio for about a year now, and we just started doing the after-school club starting this year. But I just want to say that I fully support having additional options for after-school care and before care. I am a single parent, so I do have to juggle with getting to school, getting my kids to school and off the bus. And as you know, work hours are typically not 9 to 3 or something, or between school hours. So I've utilized Brookfield's after-school program for the past, I guess, 5 years now. And my kids are actually, they've been at Country Kids, they've also been at the YMCA, but I do know that now that my kids are getting old enough that they want additional options, and it's starting to dwindle. I do know that with YMCA, I think my son wanted to switch out from Country Kids, and the YMCA was full, so I really didn't have any other options, and thankfully, we started Taekwondo classes, and he had an after-school program, so it's really been helpful. He started out going 1 day a week. Now he does 2 days a week. My daughter also goes, but she only goes 1 day a week. But I really think an additional option for after care and before care would be beneficial to the Brookfield community.
Okay, thank you. Does anybody else like to speak in favor? Does anybody else like to speak in opposition? Nope, seeing none. No. All right. Is there anything left you'd like to say in summary?
Yes, so I can promise you that I didn't pay them to come here. I just want to thank you for making this time and opportunity to come here and speak about what I do and what I try to do. I try to work very hard to support Brookfield Education Foundation, Candle Lake Elementary School, raise the funds for them and everything. So, you know, having extra options for the parents to have, like Ms. Gensler said, I think will be helpful. So I'm trying to get it properly done and rightfully done, so that I'll be probably tell them I'll be fully licensed and will be safe with us. So
All right.
Thank you very much for listening.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming in front. All right, so I don't know, is there any other questions anybody has that we haven't been answered? No, I think I'll take a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll make a motion to close Z-25-68 for Chris Hume MK Care for the special permit with design application for the Taekwondo studio and child care facility.
All right, do I have a second?
Second.
Thanks, Scott. And any discussion on closing the public hearing? All in favor of closing the public hearing, say aye.
Okay.
And deliberations, I think this is simple enough, we can deliberate tonight. That's what I feel. Because it's pretty straightforward. Not much is going to change with the actual operation there. He already has an after-school program. Becoming licensed allows him to at least get some grants so he can offset the cost to the parents that are actually using the service. And you know, I go there a lot, not to Taekwondo, but to the pizza place. And so I see them there, and you know, looks like good things are happening. What does everybody else think?
I agree. I think it's a great opportunity for the community. The only thing that I've got a concern, and it's just a cautionary, is capacity.
Yeah.
Knowing what capacity, where it would top out,
Yeah.
especially, again, the facility's gonna have a finite,
Yeah.
plus staff, and what is legal to have X
Yeah.
amount of staff per X amount of kids.
And all that's regulated by the state.
Correct.
So the state decides what's your capacity based on how big your building is.
Based on a couple of different things.
Right.
Yeah.
on
Right.
Space and the amount of toilets for the
Yeah,
kids.
like I said, that's why it's cautionary. I think it's a great idea
Yeah.
as well.
It sounds like there could be max 25 students there. I don't know how many roll over to actually be as part of the daycare afterwards, but then the state would come and say, well, yes or no, you know, you have to have this many. They have 4 instructors, so there's a ratio.
Right.
And actually, Sean, you probably know better than anybody on some of that, right? Been working with it a
There's,
while.
so the state will determine the amount of kids that a program has based on the space, the amount of, and the toilets they have.
Yeah.
They'll also, the staffing, as far as staffing goes, that ratio is also set by the states, 1 to 15. So any site for a school age program can have 15 kids with 1 staff.
That's age dependent though, and
Pardon?
age dependent, and at 5 years old, it's, the ratio, I believe, is
That's
high.
another good,
So-
glad you brought that up, because if you're 4, because of state law change, you have to be 5 to be in kindergarten, but I believe there's a grace period between like whatever 4 you're gonna turn 5 and you could go into kindergarten. The state requires that any center with a 4-year-old have a waiver that the 4-year-old can be in the after-school program. So the state will determine will determine the amount of kids they could have. There's a lot of background check that goes into staff, and he's already aware, so. You know, as far as the regulation goes with zoning, it's pretty cut and dry.
Yeah.
Everything else is gonna be up to the state now.
All right, so yeah, that sort of thing is out of our purview, but, all right.
Is that something we hold pendant on?
No, because
Okay.
they won't get their license if they don't meet state regs. We can give them the authority, we can give them the permit to have one there, and of course, they can't do anything until the state comes through too.
License them.
Yeah,
Yep.
license.
Okay.
All right, so I'll take a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve Z-25-68, 317 Federal Road, Chris Hume, MK Care for Kids for PB Federal LLC, for a special permit with design review application for a Taekwondo studio and a child care facility.
All right, a second?
Second.
Thanks, Scott. And any other discussion? All in favor of approval, say aye.
Aye.
All right, that's unanimous. All right. There you go. Oh, I get to stamp it.
Yes.
Best part. If the date's right,
I was gonna
I'm
say,
just gonna assume.
here. Hit it.
It is. All right. That way I don't forget, otherwise I have to come in tomorrow. All right, well, thank you. And let's see, old business, 6A, 7 Dorset Lane, PL-25-2. We still do not have the sign off from the sanitarian. So We'll have to continue this to our February 26th meeting because we don't have a February 12th meeting due to President's Day. So if someone wants to put in a,
I make a motion to continue 7 Dorset PL-25-2, application for a lot line revision to be continued to February 26th.
all right, second? All right, thanks, Scott. Any discussion on changing the date? Because that's our next one. Say aye?
Aye.
Aye? All right. So let's move to there. 7A, 16 South Lake Shore Drive, Z-26-4. The application is complete, right, Laura? So we can accept the application, but they have to go to the ZBA, and of course, we can't do anything without their variance in place. So we'll accept the application, and we'll continue it to March 12th, because the next ZBA meeting they'll be able to get onto is the first one in March, because ZBA only has one meeting a month, and they missed the deadline for the February one. So that's the problem.
Okay.
If they had gone on to the February one, we could have done it for February 26th. So I'll accept a motion to continue for that.
I make a motion to continue 16 South Lake Shore Drive, Z-26-4, floodplain development application for and rebuild of a house on an existing foundation. It's to be continued until March 12th.
All right, do I have a second?
Second?
All right, thank you, Scott. So any discussion on going to March 2nd to get beyond the ZBA March meeting? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All right, that's unanimous. And that's good, we're spreading them out. We won't have them all at the same time. It just means you have to actually come here. 8A, proposed changes to short-term rental. The only thing I did, I mean, we went over the words and stuff. The only thing I was going to do, which I did do, and I'll pass it around, is I filled out the, when you started on the left, we'll pass it to the right. I filled out Laura's new form. So it worked. I created a fillable PDF out of it. Just to review. So this is the new form for zoning reg changes. The old one kind of looked like this. Oh, no, it didn't. The old one looked like this. You have it in your packet. It was slightly different format and sign-offs. So what Laura's trying to do, as the planning and zoning has merged, is to create a new set of forms for all these different applications for consistency, same look and feel. And so what I did was I took our old form, that used to be a zoning form, and put all the information on that new form to see how it worked. And it seems to work all right.
So this form, when you rent it out, you fill this form out.
Yeah, so when if someone wants
It's still 2 weeks or more?
if someone wants to apply for a zone or regulation change, they have to fill this form out. Apply to the town. Now, we're the commission, so we're applying it to ourselves. And then, once they accept it with all the language we've gone over already, then they give it a number, a Z-26 number for an activity number, they call it. Or what did you call it? An application number. The same ones we have in our agenda.
So are we just changing a form, or are we changing
No, I mean, I was
regulations?
just,
I'm just going by the title of the,
yeah, no, all the wording we had before, we're changing all that.
okay.
I was just going to put it onto the new form.
Oh, I
so
see.
everybody can see that.
Okay.
Because I had it on the old form, and we're apparently not using that one anymore.
So the rules are still the same?
Yeah, so I guess what I suggest is that at this point, we've talked about it a few times, we should just put that language in, and of course, it can change during the public hearing. Change from our feedback from the public, the public might have some good ideas that we can incorporate into the language. Because we could spend, months playing with the language and still get it wrong when the public comes to talk to us about it. So mainly our job is to get some initial language that seems to cover everything that we know and heard and the problems we've seen, and then put it out to the public for their input, and then we finalize the final language and make it a new reg. So these were all the ones where we restricted how many people can be in there by number of bedrooms. who to count as not an adult, but an occupant, little kids don't count. How many cars you have to have, what sort of things you can do there, lodging only sort of thing.
How many
Um,
weeks?
How many weeks?
Was it 2 weeks?
Yep, it's under 30 days.
Under 30?
Only 30 days that's a short term. That meshes it up with the state regs.
Under 30, so
Yeah.
14 days.
Oh, you can have anything under 30 days is considered short term. And you can do that three times during a 6-month period.
3 rentals
Right.
3 rentals, and so
for a month, or
if you
Under-
want, a
right.
month or less, yeah. To be considered short term. Anything over that is long term, and we don't
Over
have
14
regulations.
days. Over 30 days.
Yeah, over 30
Right.
days, yeah.
So that changed from 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's right. It changed from
Right.
2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
State regs, well, when we went through, we found that the state regs were 30 days or less, or under 30 days. I forget which it is. The 30-day might be a weird
You
one.
need 30 days to make it a month.
The
Yeah.
state was
We're in
30
line
days or
with this,
under.
yeah, we're in
Right.
line with what the state said.
Right.
So that kind of eases things, because we can be more restrictive, but we can't be less, but that's all right. Let's just mesh it up with what they have. Other places like Candlewood Lake Club, they were already at 30 days. So that kind of meshes up with theirs. I would say the Candlewood Lake Club, they could keep theirs at do you have theirs at 15 days or 14 days?
I think it's 14 days.
You can be more restrictive,
Right.
but we're the backstop, so you can't be less restrictive.
Right.
And then we cleaned up things. You had to have a representative for the property available 24/7, and within, I think we said an hour. So
Right.
if there was a problem, you could go there. I think the biggest thing we did, though, was in terms of enforcement, because that's what we had a problem with, that we will do information sharing with the police. The land use will tell the police what the current short-term rentals are, so they know where they are in town and when. And when they go to a place and there's a raucous party or there's a complaint, and they say, hey, we're just renters here, they'll tell us, so we know whether it's a valid rental or it could be an enforcement issue. Because that's a good way to find out, aside from neighbors. The only way we find out now is through neighbors. But this way, we can also have an additional, the police can let us know. And also, we give the police a heads up, too. So they maybe can do extra patrols if they know that there's rentals out there.
So a scenario like this, you do 3 less than 30 days. Then could you do over 30 days, rent again over 30 days? Like,
Yeah, you could, because that's not short-term anymore.
that's not short term, so you could use the benefit of 2 weeks or a week
Yeah.
of B&B
Mm-hmm.
for 3 times
Yep,
for the year,
yep. No, for the 6 months. For
Oh,
6 months.
for 6 months.
Yeah.
Right.
And what happened, then every, then another 6 months, just,
Right.
Yeah, like a
And-
rolling.
and-
6 months.
And the 30 days would be 30 days in the 6-month window. So you can't do a 30-day rental, 30-day rental, 30-day
Oh,
rental.
you could.
30-day
The way it's
rental,
written.
you could do any time.
Three
three
different
of 'em.
30-day rentals you could do.
Effectively, you could do 6 of them a year.
6 of them.
Yeah, 6
Any
total.
less than 30 days, 3.
Yeah, 30 days and less. Any short-term rentals, you can have 6 a year, 3 in any 6-month period, a
Oh,
rolling
okay, 6 a
6 month.
year, okay.
Yeah. And, but your point is, if it's not a short-term, if it's a long-term, we don't regulate that. We don't regulate long-term rentals, and I don't think we probably could legally. So, I'm sure there's a lot of people that do a month by month or
Well,
a
that's,
year, a half a year,
I was
or a
gonna say,
year
well, the
rental.
month to month becomes the anomaly. How does does a month to month is that considered short term or long term?
I know.
That's the
That's
one
why I
long-term.
wanted to make sure 30 days more was long-term, but the state, in their infinite wisdom, made 30 and less.
No, I have that, but I thought we put language in as
Oh,
far
well.
as the rental type, meaning you've got 30, it's not, you can rent the house for 28 days.
Oh, wait,
28
let's
days,
see.
28 days, 28 days. I thought we had a cap of it, which is the reason why there's,
The cap of 3 times, 3
Three
times.
times in 6 months.
Yeah, yes. 3 times in 6 months.
Right, so-
And those 3 times, they could be 30 days each.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So you could basically rent your place half the time as short-term rentals over a year, say.
Right.
And then, to your point, Danny, if you did, you could do 3 short terms and then rent a place for 3 months, one long 3-month rental to one person for the rest of the time. And that would be 3 short term and 1 long term. That would be allowed. And that's allowed now. The only thing is we changed it from 14 days and less to 30 days and less. And that was because we made ourselves consistent with the state.
Was that also, that was, if I could be wrong if I'm not recollecting correctly, but didn't the town attorney also suggest that we do that?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, exactly. That was his recommendation.
And enforcement, if people don't obey the rules, how do you enforce it? Because
It goes through the
They don't
standard.
get complained and they don't get police report.
They go through if nobody complains, then we don't know about it.
Then you don't know about it.
No. And so
And what happens when you do find out? Will be a penalty.
yes, there will. So it goes up through a regular violation. It starts with a
Violation.
notice of violation.
Base price or do or do
You have to
come
hit
in front of the court?
citation. You have to hit citation for $150 a day. So are we in citation with, what is it, 40 Hillendale? Or 32, it was not Hillendale, I'm sorry, 40 Hidden Brook. Hidden Brook. They have a bad history of continually having unregistered or unpermitted short-term,
Rentals.
I
yeah.
think a citation has been issued
Yeah,
on that.
so with that citation comes a $150 fine a day,
Per day.
Per day,
per day,
until they clean it up.
until they pay it and stop doing it, yeah. Yeah. So they should
How do
come.
you, how do you get the money?
So you get the money, or then the town finally puts a lien on their property.
Oh, they will put a lien?
Yeah.
After like a year or 6 months?
Yeah, well, the courts move slowly. Things,
So that's
the wheels of
collecting the
justice
money.
are
So
slow.
it's collecting the money.
Yeah, and sometimes we do collect the money. For example, at Green Knoll, we collected money from that, because, they paid the fine. So I don't know what our percentage of fine collecting is, but it does happen,
It does happen.
yeah. I mean, you can't sell your house if you got a big lien on it. And they're not it's just not, residential. We have citations against, commercial places too, so. I think when we did the 20 Station Road, we got all those penalties back. Didn't we? Wasn't there citation on that as well? Or was that just tax dollars?
That was tax, I
Oh.
believe,
Is it
Blight? There
warning
was some
first,
blight,
or
too.
do you put the lien, put a fine right away? Do you warn the people first?
Oh, no, yeah, there's
No.
warrant. It
Yeah.
goes up through like 4 stages. And the enforcement report that Fran usually has, he'll note each stage, notice
Right.
of violation,
Cease and desist.
cease and desist,
Citation.
citation.
And then,
Is that
legal
it?
action.
yeah, legal action.
Legal action, yeah.
What is the basis of a complaint that might lead one down this road? Is it just simply, hey, I think they're violating these rules? Or
Yes,
is
and
it,
then-
or is it something like noise?
No, because we're not in charge of noise, the police are.
Okay.
No, you're violating the rules.
Simply,
So
by
Fran goes
I'm
there.
observing this pattern of rentals or
Yes.
people that are
Correct.
going in that.
Yes.
Okay.
And then
Or not
actually,
registered.
on the hidden, what's it called? Hidden
Hidden
Brook. Fran actually saw them on Verbo or Airbnb, advertising the place. It's
Okay.
like, without having a permit. It's like, well, okay, there's evidence that you're breaking the rules right there. You have an ad to rent the place
So
out.
who checks that?
Fran,
Fran.
among others, he's got a,
So if you don't get a complaint from the neighbors?
oh, there's complaint from the neighbors too.
Oh, but if
Well,
you
on
don't?
that one.
oh,
If you
are
don't,
It's not solely.
Yeah.
You're not really looking for it, are you? Like, say someone's clean Are you going in a verbal and B and?
He's done some of that. You know, I think during the summer months when the shores are, you know, renting out, I think he spends some time doing that, but there's only one of him, and there's a lot of signs on the road. He's got to go out and do inspections on properties for, you know, make sure they're within the setbacks and stuff.
And then
He gets
also-
other complaints for,
Right.
sheds or,
I was just gonna say that ties into all of the complaints.
Yeah.
You know, someone's driveway that's dropping sill on the road.
yeah.
That becomes a problem.
Yeah.
The sheds, somebody complaining, or somebody
Yeah.
drives by, they've got 27 sheds on their property.
Yeah. If you want to look at, you know, how many complaints there are, just look at that enforcement report. I mean, we have some that have been on there for years and it's in the courts and they lost and they had to pay a fine and damages. And that's the one up on Wisconsin Road, Route 25. They have a contractor's yard in their
Right.
property, in a residential zone. So some things go on forever. Now, maybe they don't think we're never gonna move, so who cares if we have a lien on our house, but you know, there's all types. And then we have one up on the top of High Ridge Road.
Right.
That's on the enforcement report, but unfortunately, the guy's got medical problems, so the judge has, you know, continued it out many, many times, so I don't know when that one's gonna come
Yeah.
to the end. So, but it's neighbor complaints and Fran's seen something. And then now we'll have the police, you know, feeding back too. So that enforcement issue is an issue, especially with short-term rentals, which is why we're trying to figure out what can we do to make it better. And that was one idea we had. And maybe along the way, when people are complaining, and, you know, maybe there's people that will come from the public and say, yeah, maybe you should do this. And we'll say, hey, that's a good idea.
Do you have an application fee when you do and you get the application, or when it gets approved? Is it a fee?
For us?
No, for the people renting
Oh,
the house.
yeah.
Yes, it's on the fee schedule.
Right.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Every application is on.
Yeah, I think there's an example of the fee schedule, the
Every
application.
6 months with it, or will it be a yearly?
No, what the commission would approve would be the use, and then they have to apply to be a short-term rental and register with the town.
Yeah, it's each rental, right?
Right.
And is it based on length of time or just a set
Set fee.
fee?
It's a zoning compliance.
Yeah.
That's application fee, you call it, every
There
year?
would be an application, and they're supposed to, on the application itself. Have you looked at the short-term rental application?
So we have one in our packet. It's called the zoning application form for a permit to rent a residential dwelling short-term. I know that's a lot of words, but.
You might want to clean that.
And it's got a calendar there that shows exactly when they're gonna rent it. And these people have, I think, 3 different rentals shown that they wanna rent it. And they say who they are and all the information we'd like. And with that, a check to the town of Brookfield. Per the fee, the application fee schedule.
I had a conversation with assessor one time, I don't know, a year ago, maybe 2 years. Do they charge tax on short-term rental, as she was telling me? Or is that what she wanted to do, or?
So that's their rules and regulations. If it's a commercial business, if it becomes a business, the property is not being utilized by the resident and the property owner is maybe a company, and they're just trying to rent it out time and time again, then she'll consider it a business, and everything in the house becomes personal property and taxable.
Taxable.
Or commercial property.
Yeah.
But it's her rules, and I could be misspeaking on that a little bit,
Alright.
but
So, but if you rent it 3 times a year, but you still live there, is that a business?
then
Or is there a call?
you would have to talk to
So
the
it's
town's
her-
assessor. She is notified of every short-term rental, just like she's
Yeah.
notified of every accessory apartment.
Hmm.
So,
There's also state regulations. You have to live in a property, for your primary residence, you have to live in it more than 6 months. So if they're renting it out 3 times, probably not. But if they're renting it out 6 times, again, now it's how long they're.
6 months.
If it's on 6 months, that's not a primary residence because it's used to generate income.
So just for my clarification, that's per occupant, each rental, that form gets filled out, or that's a standard form this is what I intend to do with the property.
Right now, where that form, which hasn't been updated, you just reminded me of that one, actually. It is supposed to list the three, or all of the rentals for that 6-month period,
Okay, in one shot,
in one shot.
and then you would do this every 6 months.
Yeah.
And you would do
theoretically,
that
if
every
you knew
6
it.
months.
If
Now,
you
whether or
didn't
not
know
that
it-
makes more sense, process-wise, I guess it really depends on how the rules are gonna wind up being written. If it winds up being every 6 months,
I think it would be, I mean, the way I read it is a rolling 6 months, so you couldn't have more than 3 in any 6-month period that you look.
Right.
I'll make it.
How you make a, how you make a form for that, I do not know.
Well, I mean, and to your point, I think it should be a fixed 6-month period. That way you know you're getting these at this time, every half a year.
There's a lot of discussion on this. I know when people do fill them out, they often tell us, well, we don't know if someone's going to rent the house.
Then fill out another one, right?
And that's why I'm wondering if it makes more sense for you to submit a form and a payment each
And
time.
it's rented.
It's rented.
I think that's-
the
When they
mindset I'm
rent
kind
it,
of going
then-
down on that one.
I
When they
actually
rent
think
They
it,
know it's rent, then you come in and fill the paperwork and give the check.
Right.
When they know it's rented.
When,
So it could be
before,
like a week
it's
before.
preferably.
yes, no, but I think if they're renting it out, personally, I think it should be each rental
I mean,
should
if
be
they
the
know 3 of
indication.
them ahead of time, that's great. They
Yeah,
can-
they fill out 3 forms.
If they don't, and, okay, we only have one at this time, but it's due, and you put it in then, I mean, I don't think that's a problem, that you just have to add supplements to it because it changes.
So considering the fee, though, is the fee per permit or per stay?
permit.
So then,
It behooves them to get all 3 on one.
It behooves them
Right.
to get all three. That's their
It's cheaper
incentive.
for them.
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
But the problem you have with that, and again, if you tried to set schedules of the 6-month windows, where do you start and stop? And the reason why is if
Yeah.
you follow the tax, January to July, or June, July
Yeah.
to December, you're split in the middle, and somebody could actually benefit from that playing the summer months, depending on the properties. And I'm thinking more about the lake communities, but again, that's a
I mean,
gap.
You could follow the fiscal year, or you could do,
Prime.
summer and winter.
No,
Yeah.
again, agreed.
Yeah.
There's, but now it's the rollovers. So if you're tracking it for calendar 2026, but if you're doing a fiscal versus calendar, half
Yeah.
of that could be on 2027. So how do you true that up?
Well, it's still only a 6-month period. It doesn't matter the year-end date. It's still a 6-month period.
No, agreed, but
So
again,
that wouldn't change.
So rolling might make more sense on that.
Yeah,
one.
Yeah.
if you just do a rolling, then they could see right away, oh, we already had 3, we had to wait until we hit a certain day to do another one.
Correct.
Because we had the 6-month period will slide and that one will fall off the end.
And then the fee of $150, I mean, if these people are getting over $1,000 a day, what's $150?
times 3.
If you had to do it 3
That's a
times.
day, though. Yeah,
But I-
it's a
Yeah.
day, though.
But
So-
I think it should be per
Per rental?
rental,
What I'm
not
saying is they're getting.
per period.
They're collecting, potentially, some of these places are over $1,000 a day
Right,
Yeah.
for their rental.
right.
So what's paying out $150 a day in a fine really doing for them?
Nothing.
Yeah, well, that's kind of my point.
But
is-
what's the permit? Again, the permit isn't gonna,
I'm not
permits are
saying the
relevant.
permit, I'm just saying if they're not following, it doesn't, that's not really an incentive to follow.
no.
So I don't know if that may need to be looked at also to be more of a deterrent in that respect. I don't know if we can do that or
You
not.
can't do a citation over 150 a day for a zoning violation. It's
Okay.
set by state statute.
Okay, well, then, yeah, that was, ends
But
that
that's per
discussion.
day, sir.
Yeah.
It's per day, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It
but-
didn't
But
used
if
to
you're
be.
collecting over 1,000 a day, you're writing that off, okay, I gotta
Yeah.
pay this. It's just like another bill.
Just
Right.
say someone
That's
else-
that's the law maintenance for the property,
Yeah.
for the month.
Right? You can't really enforce that. They're gonna just pay the fine?
But it's per
Well,
day,
then
and
there's a
as
lien.
long as we have an ongoing violation, the citation holds. So each day it's another 150, and then eventually it builds to a legal action, and if it goes all the way through, we put a lien on the house, so now
Yeah.
we have a
potentially
You
own
have a
the
big
house.
problem,
Yeah.
for
Right.
$950.
There could be
today.
language that until
You
it's
stop doing it for 6
paid,
months.
then they cannot
Well,
apply for another.
well, that's the other part of
We
it.
wouldn't accept one
So,
anyway.
Laura, a
It
question
should
for
be
you.
writing.
Any ongoing violation will stop the permitting process, so if I have a violation on a property, no permits for land use are really issued.
Okay.
Because
But-
we have to sign off on everything.
So playing this out, it's gone through the process, it's to a fine. So we're fining them at $150 a day.
Correct,
It's a rental property.
correct.
The rental property stops. So,
They have to prove to us that they've stopped violating, the onus is on the property owner to show that the violation's cleared.
no, but if they they rented it for 2 weeks. Massive parties, lots of problems. Again, we've got, the town they're in breach. If the property stops being rented at the end of the 2 weeks, technically the violation is stopped because they're not renting the property anymore. So how do you,
We'd
Can-
have to go out and confirm that the property isn't rented. So the violation holds until it is confirmed by a duly authorized zoning enforcement officer.
right, but
And
again,
they still owe them money.
no, again, agreed, but how, again, okay, so
Yeah.
you're in breach.
You're just like, well,
Fran
how are
goes
they
to look at it,
punished?
right.
Is that what you're asking? How are they punished?
Right,
Because they did
Fran
something bad.
Fran goes and looks at it, there's nobody there.
Yeah.
But it sounds to me like you're saying, okay, after the 2 weeks, there's a violation within that 2 weeks. Okay, week 3, it's not rented anymore, the violation go. So you get pulled over. Let's say you get pulled over by the cop, right, because you're speeding. After the cop leaves, you're still in violation of that speeding.
Right.
You still owe that money. So I'm
Right.
assuming they would still owe that money until
Yeah.
Fran goes out
Correct.
and figures it all out.
My point is,
How do you stop them?
Going forward.
next-
going forward, so, okay, they've been fined. Again, we've gamed it out that they've been fined, they had 2 more days on the rental. They owe the town $300, and they don't rent the property out for a while. Whether again, they still own, or they still owe that money.
I'm assuming the town wouldn't take that money, wouldn't give a permit for another rental until that fine is paid.
But they haven't they didn't get a permit in the first place.
But that's where
So
I,
the
so that's,
question is, how do you prevent it
right,
again?
and that's where I was going with this.
What,
So
what,
there's
what-
some things
what-
we're
what-
gonna prevent, and there's some things we're not gonna
We're
prevent.
trying to get there.
No,
And I think we could say here.
But
in
do
the
we
place
have a mechanism to stop them? Do we have like a red tag on your door, like, yeah, you
Right.
can't do this again?
Right,
But
You
no,
issue
there
cease and
isn't, you know?
desist. And it
Well-
becomes a legal action with court.
right.
You won't
But-
be able to renew your motor vehicle registration
I
until
don't,
it's.
I don't know if I could do motor vehicle. I can't
I don't
show
know.
it.
Well, no, I mean,
Good for
at
you.
at that point, could you hold it against their property tax component?
Or could you pull their CO? I don't know, what
Well, you
sort,
just
what
don't give
punishment
them
is?
new permits if they wanna do a deck or something, you just don't issue any
So if
permits.
if they have a zoning violation, yes, we do, depending on what the violation is and how it goes, it's hard to get a permit if you have a violation on your property until the violation
Violation's
is
clear.
resolved.
Okay.
But that's an open violation.
That's an
Yeah.
open
You
violation.
had the 2 weeks,
Okay.
they paid their fine. They never got the permit to begin with, they paid their fine. So that's closed. 2 weeks later, they're doing the same game.
Yeah.
So they'll get issued another violation.
I think what we could do is, I don't know if this is something we're even allowed to do, but what if we said if after accruing a certain number of violations, then
No longer
you're,
issued a permit?
well, not, or you could say like for the next
Something,
calendar
yeah.
year,
Yeah.
you can't be issued another permit.
Right.
Well,
If they didn't get
why
a
don't
permit
I
in the
ask
first
the
place.
town attorney, what other form of punishment for a repeat offender?
Yeah,
Yeah,
how do-
what is
how do we-
available
how do we
to the
sh-
town?
What's the
Right.
best way we should manage repeat
Yeah.
offenders?
Right.
Yeah,
Because, that's the kind of the concern I think anybody would have is, you know, like the one you're
So
Is
right
there
now,
any
referenced
way to
earlier,
communicate
potentially,
that
clearly they don't care.
status
Right.
So,
to the renters?
a big red A on the side of the,
There you go.
Is there, I'm not
Or
sure
a
if
more
there's any,
subtle one.
like
I
Airbnb
think a
or
big red
Vrbo or
V for
those
violation.
websites have any, like, I'm sure they have like a legal
C&D.
department that handles,
Cease and
that
desist.
interacts with municipalities, especially large ones like New York City or.
Oh,
you
but
know,
that
I
would
wonder if-
deter
I wonder
renters.
if they would, if Brookfield can communicate information to them that
to
this
Airbnb
site
and,
is, or,
Well,
yeah, this
New
lo-
York City
you know what I
has a
mean?
license that if you don't have your license, Airbnb will not take you.
Correct.
Would Brookfield think about something like that, of getting a license,
Airbnb and
and then
Verbo.
let an Airbnb,
But you still run the
before you
risk.
rent the house,
They might-
Brookfield has to issue a license.
Yeah.
Look, I
And
agree.
Airbnb will not rent that house unless you have a license.
Yeah,
In
No,
sure.
I
another
agree with
town
that, but
I
the-
worked in, we issued it, we did short-term rentals by license and not by zoning regulation. So yes, it is a different mechanism, it is a different way to look at it. The question then always falls on is, does it have to be written in then as an ordinance? Because that's how the licenses would be issued, even if they were issued by the land use department. It becomes it's a different way to do it. I like the idea of a license in some ways, because when I can revoke your license, then you never get it again, you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
That is one another step. With this, though, we have the zoning violation where you're gonna get a citation, so we have to just be careful. I would have to work a little bit more closely with the town attorney to make
Yeah.
sure that the citations would still apply,
And even, maybe there is a mechanism, a legal mechanism for repeat offenders. And maybe Verbo and Airbnb have some sort of, aside from
Reporting.
license,
We just
some
need,
other
like, data
protocol.
feeds
they
set
can-
up to
They
give that
won't rent,
information
they
to
can't
them,
advertise.
so that they know, okay, this
But-
property cannot be rented, this property
That's
cannot be
correct.
rented.
Unless you have
Yeah.
a license, and they show the license on their website, and that's the people who rent it knows that it's legal.
Yeah,
But-
so we'll have to see if they accept like a permit, rather than a license.
But those are all the big
Well, like
Verbo, B&B,
yes.
all of those.
No, like I said, the one down at 40 Hidden View was on one of the big ones.
No, agreed. But
So-
what happens if, again,
Well,
this-
nothing.
No,
I mean, we
it-
can't handle,
right, as Greg was saying, if again, gaming this out,
yeah,
you go, you rent, you get fined,
yeah.
you pay the fine. Whether you use,
That's why we have to ask, what
The-
mechanisms do we have available
Right.
to punish the homeowner for repeat
is
offenses?
there some sort of independent, short-term Craigslist, where,
Sure, there's that too.
but that's what I'm saying. Again,
But
a
that's
lot of
where
people
we have
rent
to
on
work with the
Airbnb.
lawyer to figure out what we can
Right.
do.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, the lawyer,
yeah.
the lawyer will.
Because I'm thinking if you find someone that didn't fill out the permit and, okay, so they've done it a couple times, clearly they don't care about what the rules are. They're gonna continue to,
Yeah, unless
Do
we
it.
come up with something to stop them.
this is why short-term rentals are an enforcement nightmare.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that's why they're.
I remember Fran said it straight away. How do you enforce this?
All right, so we talked about 30 days or less. 31 days or more, you don't have to fill any paperwork out,
Correct,
That's
Right.
right,
no fee,
correct.
that's
you
right.
don't gotta let the town know.
Nope,
Nope. The reason why we,
And if you get a complaint and you come up, you show them, I guess, a lease for 31 days. Or if it's on B&B, it's rented 30 days or more.
more.
So you have to prove your case
correct,
to the town that you're doing it 30 days or more.
correct.
That's if you get a complaint and people come up.
Yeah,
Correct.
That's true with any zoning violation.
Right.
The onus is always on the property owner, whoever it is,
Yeah.
commercial or residential, to prove that the violation exists, does,
It's valid.
yes. Thank you.
so based on that, I don't think that affects the language we have, because that might become a back office thing with the permitting and everything. So, I don't know, I think maybe we should put the language in, put the application in, and start the process to go for a public hearing with the language we've done already. Or do you think we should get
Well-
clear, I mean, I don't think it's gonna change, I don't know if we can write a regulation to, about this enforcement part, or can we?
I don't know about the enforcement part, but it's certainly, I think, the regulations as to how the process in which it will be handled, if there's a repeat offender or something like that, I don't know. I mean, certainly, I think getting advice of the town attorney before potentially writing any of that in,
Yeah.
which I think should be spelled out very clearly, might be worthwhile.
The town attorney might also have thoughts on the rolling schedule too. How do we track it?
I would look into the license, because most town up in Copac, you have the license, the town issues it, you put the application, it's gonna be a B&B, you pay your fee, and you have control on this license, 3 violations, so you pull the license. Done.
That is
And-
how many towns do it.
And if you don't
That's a different
have-
process to get to do the
Airbnb
license,
can't
right? That's not
advertise.
us.
You have to be a licensed, or if you don't have Airbnb advertising, or Verbo or whatever, you're out of business, because what do you do? Hook a pay? So that cuts down a lot.
Well, we have to ask the town attorney if that's possible.
Right, because that,
If that's even through our zoning regs.
I don't think it is, because I
If it
think
would-
if you get a license, that means the property that you are renting is a rental property, meaning it's not a, you
Well, I
live there
don't-
part, that's an investment property, and that changes,
That's what we have to ask the town attorney. What does
Right.
that mean?
right.
It could be 2 tiers of licenses, like short-term rental license and then normal. Yeah.
Well, I guess it's the mechanism. License might be an ordinance thing. That's what we have to ask the town attorney, so it has nothing to do with us.
She's already answering now.
Yeah, so it already is. So it has nothing to do with us.
Yeah.
How we tie it
And the
in to the
licensing
zoning
part, it would take it out of our
regs, we might
hands.
say you need a license from,
As the commission, it would be a permit that you would issue, a license would have to be written by ordinance. As far as enforcement's concerned, I mean, technically, you can revoke a permit too, though,
yeah.
Right,
so, but
If they don't go for a permit because they don't care.
right, I was gonna say,
then
the
we go
issue,
back to where we
right.
started on
Yeah.
that, but.
Yeah. Then there has to be some
Right.
other means to make good on.
And on top of that,
whatever's going on.
if you're getting a license to run those, and again, it's ordinance driven, but is a company or a corporation coming in and using or purchasing multiple properties to then run it through, again, short-term rentals?
Yeah, and that's up to the assessor to decide, you a business or are you a
Right, that's what I'm
person?
saying. Because I
But
guarantee
that's
the.
again outside our purview.
No, agreed. But that's why I said that. Again, the licensing for that is not gonna be cheap, I'd be willing to bet.
All right, well, why don't we continue this then? We'll query the town attorney on these concerns about repeat offenders, and also about what exists or what could we do if we kept it in zoning, a zoning permit, to punish repeat offenders. How do we punish repeat offenders?
Hold them
Maybe-
accountable at least, yeah.
Yeah, how do you hold someone accountable like that?
Yep.
To your point, Greg, if someone is renting 1,000, 150, okay, that's fine, it's the cost of doing business. So it might mean nothing to them, and they'll just keep on doing it. All right. So we'll
Because
continue.
the lake ones go for.
Do we need to make a
at
motion to
least
table
that.
this?
Oh, the lake ones
yeah,
go for
yeah.
stupid amount of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, to continue it,
Do we do?
yeah.
I'll make a motion that we table changes to short-term rental and accessory apartment until February 26th.
All right, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Sean, thank you, Tony. All in favor of talking about this again on our next meeting? Say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. In the meantime, I'll ask Tom about repeat offenders, rolling schedule,
And license.
and license versus zoning reg, and we'll see what he comes back with.
I'd also ask if you can look into like data feed of sharing information with like the big rental platforms.
Oh, yes, and data sharing. Yeah, okay. Yeah, because I would think that Airbnb and those people have to deal with all different structures of town, so why wouldn't they want to see a permit as well, but.
Yeah, and they don't want to deal with renters who are, or then
Breaking the law.
landlords who are, in violation, and then they're gonna run into their own legal issues, so.
Yeah, it's a headache that none of those companies want.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but on the same token, it's.
8B, regulation overview, review, Article 310. I don't know if anybody's written up any examples of language that might be good for that one. We discussed some language about recreational vehicles in residential zones. And Scott had come up with one, I think you did, with a total number of boats and/or cars. and just have that, so you can just count how many are, boat on a trailer or cars can be a max number. Currently, the max is 6 cars and 2 boats, I guess.
One boat.
1 boat and 1 trailer.
And one trailer.
Sorry, that's right, the trailer.
Or,
What
it
about the
doesn't have to
with a
be a boat,
trailer
it could be an
or
RV
boat?
too.
Right.
Jet skis?
Jet
Am I
skis
opening
on a
up a can of
trailer.
worm here? Okay.
A trailer of 2 jet skis,
Boat on
or has,
Two jet skis on a
I mean,
single
you can
trailer.
get 4 of them, I don't know.
You can.
I mean, you can have a
You can
26-foot
get
boat
8
in
on
your
one,
driveway, yeah.
They have double-decker trailers for the.
Yeah.
for the-
I mean,
so-
one with a bunch of jet skis and one 26-foot boat, they're both the same.
But that's, I don't know if that's under the, would that fall under the one boat rule?
Or the one, well, it's not even boats either, it's RVs,
Any recreational vehicle.
Right.
yeah.
You could have
You can only get one of
RV,
them.
It's a recreational vehicle, you could have an RV there too.
26-footer?
But only one.
Yeah,
Only one.
people have them, they park them in their designated drive.
Yep, next to the
And
house.
they usually cover them, you can't live in it, you can't have it attached to utilities. You can park it there, off-season. I don't know if you knew that, but,
But the shores, I don't think they have a rule, they don't have RVs.
That's different.
well, they might have a more
yes.
restrictive rule.
They don't, and, there have been RVs in the shores.
Okay.
There have been RVs that people have been living in
In the shores.
the shores. They were
Oh, well, that's-
relatives that pulled in and parked in front of the house, and they visited for a week and then they left.
You mean like Christmas?
Yes, Christmas vacation, yes, Uncle Eddie, yes, absolutely. And then there's also people that have multiple boats that,
There are
in
a
the
lot of
winter,
people with
yeah.
multiple boats.
We,
So that's where this
Yeah.
came up, is like, instead of saying, oh, you have 3 boats, but you have 1 car, how about just one number for a combination of what people can have?
And it doesn't matter what arrangement you put them in. It's-
Exactly.
Right.
And so if that seems okay, the question is, what is that number? Is that number 8? Because there's 6 cars and 2 things, including, a trailer is one of those things. Because that could be 2 boats and 6 cars, or it could be, 3 boats and 5 cars, or 4 cars.
well, the problem that you're gonna have is having a set, again, now this ties back to, we talked about the different zones. There's no way
Well,
in
you
the
have to-
shores, Candlewood Lake, or any of the lake communities, you are going to be able to park 6 vehicles, whether it's boats,
That's fine.
trailers, and any of that,
It's
because.
just, it depends on your property
No,
size, yeah.
correct, but again, if you make the rule 6 per house,
In a designated drive.
okay, there are people that have curbs that they've cut out and paved,
Yeah.
which technically could be a drive that they could stack their cars
As
on.
long as you don't go,
Currently a violation.
as long as you don't go over the coverage ratios of the property.
Okay,
Yeah, I mean, we have impervious coverage ratio of the properties for drainage reasons. So, that keeps people from paving their whole front yard to put 6 cars and 2 boats or whatever.
But they could put a gravel driveway down.
They could put a gravel driveway down.
In front of the gravel.
I mean, do we want to put
But
some
that's-
sort
that
of
goes back
restriction
to
on
the
that too?
subdivision
Dude,
type
are there many houses
where
that
they could have
press
stricter
that limit
laws
of
There's a
6
lot of
cars
conversations
and
we're gonna
2
make it
boats?
Yeah, just this one
challenging for our
conversation for the recording secretary. So Scott's question was, is there many examples of people pushing the limits?
yes,
Of 6
My
cars and
neighbor.
2 boats and.
yes.
Yeah.
We had pictures last week.
Yeah,
of-
but 6 cars
I
and
didn't
2
see the
boats.
quantity.
My
Yes.
neighbor.
And how many? How many people have 8 things in their driveway?
Right now, I can
Right
give
now.
you 2 houses, I can give you
Okay.
2 addresses.
Okay.
She took pictures of them.
Yeah.
I can tell you right now, my neighbor's got at least 4 vehicles that are not on the driveway.
Okay, that's,
Was the-
That's another, I was gonna say, and I can go that
well,
route too.
you have to go to land use to make that complaint.
I wasn't coming here to make the complaint, I'm
No.
just
Oh,
saying.
no, no.
You asked for
Yeah, you're absolutely
examples,
right.
so.
Yes,
Yeah.
in fact, we have one that had violations, there were complaints
Yeah,
on Candlewood Lake Road where they had workers' vehicles, company vehicles.
Different.
well, that's
Boats.
different. That was a different regulation.
Understood,
Yeah.
but that's on a driveway, it's a personal house. I'm not
Yeah.
talking about the business, I'm talking about the house across the street.
Yeah, they
But it
were
was being
using
used as a
business.
business.
Yeah,
That
you're
was
using
the issue.
But
parking for a business.
past that, there's still 5 or 6 vehicles, plus a trailer, plus a
Currently, it's
camper.
6 cars and 2
Yep.
boats.
And again,
That's the max.
Currently, it is 6 cars are
There's
allowed
10
per
cars
one
there.
zoning regulation. The
Right.
boat is a separate, it's a recreational vehicles
Right.
regulation, and it allows 1 boat and 1 trailer. It has to be parked in a designated drive, and it has to comply with our zoning setbacks for whatever that zoning district is. The reason I brought this one up is because we've been getting a lot of violations about the recreational vehicles.
For this particular address?
Just
Or just
for-
in general?
General.
Okay.
And then as I was looking at the regulation, I drove around, I identified probably, I'm gonna offhand say 40 violations in a 15-minute period.
Okay.
In one particular area in town. And it's very difficult for enforcement purposes, because if I have, you know, for example, we'll say the Shores, that it seems like many of the vehicles are either, they might be in a designated drive, but they might not comply to the number, or they might not be complying with the zoning setbacks. How can I enforce it on the other side, or Lake Willanola side, and where I have 2 that are not in a designated drive, and they don't comply with the setbacks, but everybody else is doing it. So I
Okay.
brought it up just to see which direction the commission prefers to go, and to be
And
more
right now, it's like
permissive
all over
or
the
less.
place. So the question on the table is, do we want to set a number that includes boats, trailers, and cars? Is that's a question on the
That's
table?
one of the questions.
that's one of the questions.
I
One of
guess,
the
I guess
questions
the
on the table.
overriding question is, how do we deal with this? Because they're not just breaking one of the rules, they're breaking
Right.
2 of the rules. And especially in the Shores, it's so crowded down there, it's almost impossible the setbacks on R7, I think, are 10 feet.
10.
How do you get 10 feet away if you have too many things?
So,
Right.
And where do you, say we enforce it, and we have a enforcement report this long.
30 pages
Where
long.
do these people put their boats?
well, that was gonna be my question, particularly with the shore, driving down there. Yes, I noticed there were a lot of boats on the side of North Shore, which was, I thought to myself, that's kind of odd.
Because there's nowhere else to put
And-
them.
yeah.
They don't pay to put them
They
anywhere.
pull them out of the
That's
water
it.
for the winter,
Yeah.
Yes,
and they park them on the side.
yes. Yes. And those are the ones that are on the lake. You go to the interior roads, they're parked in the street.
Or in front of the house.
Well, in
So we
front of the
need a
house.
set of
Some are-
regulations
some are on
that's gonna
setbacks, some
address
are
the
on-
entire town.
Parked in the front lawn.
Yeah.
Easily enforceable.
That's the dream.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it seems like we all need to do some thinking, maybe some drive around in 15 minutes and see.
I mean, if a boat is parked in the street for like a long time, can't the police just leave a ticket on it and then now the boat?
Well,
Well-
that's dependent on the parking regulations in the town, which you're allowed street parking.
And if it's a private
but
road.
it's private
it's
roads.
public.
Well, yeah, that's the other key. For
Right.
the shores, any other road,
Cannibal Lake Club is the same way Lake Lunoma has some
That
pockets.
leads me to another question. The shore has their own set of rules.
That are not followed.
They can be more restrictive than us. They cannot be less
Less
restrictive
restrictive.
than us.
It could be more, but not less. Okay.
The problem is enforcement.
I wouldn't necessarily gear it around the shores.
You can't, that's,
I would gear it around the rest of the town, and then the shores can do what they want from there, because they are their own kind of animal with, space available, which is what it comes down to.
Yeah.
correct. And that's what started this whole thing. And carving out spots for any of the lake communities. How do you segregate that versus the rest of the area
Well,
or the
some,
town?
yeah, some you can separate by setbacks, like
Yes,
R7s have smaller setbacks. Sometimes we have modification of the setbacks depending on what it is. For example, if it's like a shed or something in the back, the backyard setback can be 50% of the normal instead of 100% of what their back one is. Can we do something like that, make it, and you'd have to go out and look how close some of these boats are, but 10 feet, can you make it 5 feet? I don't know. If I was a neighbor and I didn't have a boat and I just like to go down to the beach and I see this looming boat on my property line, I might not like that. I mean, it's probably what's happening now anyway.
Yep.
I think you might be onto something. I think setbacks might be the answer.
Well, we have setbacks already. They're supposed to be 10 feet away.
Yeah, but-
But what can we
But
do
it's
to
not
make
being
them,
enforced.
so when we did the
Lots,
rewrite,
75-foot lots, I mean, 10.
But it's not, the setbacks aren't in here if I,
no, they say you
And
have
what
to
about
respect,
cars?
you have
when
to
they fill
respect the
it
setback.
with a
Right,
house.
and
They're not the
I guess
facts that
It'd
they
be
use.
into section 3.
for this picture, it's beyond the setback.
No, it's not. And I think it's very close because that setback is not, you're looking at the front yard setbacks.
Right.
Front yard setback, I think that's an R40, so that's 40 feet.
No, this is in the zone, the shores. This is the third house off the Candlewood Lake Road.
There's a couple R40s in there.
Oh, that's possible. All right, sorry. That I didn't know. I thought they were all
Which-
R7s.
So I just wanted to, and I used that picture just to illustrate, and it might be close. That was strictly done by eyeballing.
No,
But to say,
agreed.
hey, this is what this looks like.
Right. I mean, the reason why I said that is this one, I think, is a lot closer
That's the least of the
to
problems.
being in scope as opposed to
That's a
the
very
one
small
that you
one.
had.
But as far as enforcement
Two
is
houses down.
concerned, we can't go, well, it's closer to following
No,
the rules, and
agreed.
therefore I'm
Yeah,
not issuing
no.
a violation.
Right,
So,
no, it's gotta be,
Yeah.
what's good for one has gotta be good for all, and I agree
I
with you.
think in town and in general, that is what you would wanna see. You don't wanna see 3 of them stacked up here, another 2 on the other side.
Right,
And that's
and,
another
all
and,
that.
and again,
that picture.
from this picture, 2 doors down,
Yeah,
there's a pontoon boat,
yeah.
a ski boat, and 2 jet skis, all in the front, and that's they literally carved out a 8-foot slab.
Mm-hmm.
All of that's there. So they're in the front of the house. I don't think they're within the setback. But again, that becomes the challenge. Now, they can move their boats. They use that for parking. Because that's what they designed it for. So,
curiosity question, in the summer, are most of these boats on the water? And not an issue?
Yeah, but then they bring it.
some,
It's
some. Most of the houses on the lake,
Will have
so
their boats in the water.
where this road is, they're in the water. The
But
interior
that's a
houses,
different story.
Yeah.
most of those, they go and put them in for the day, and then they pull them out.
Right.
And then they park them where it's convenient.
Correct.
They use them next time.
Correct, and it's in and out the whole back and forth.
Well, maybe
You're
it's a
constantly
good
driving
for,
around them.
maybe
Correct.
the commission members should drive through, especially Candlewood Shores and Arrowhead, to get an idea of just how bad it is and how close the boats are and what we can do about, or how bad the situation is.
Well, this even goes, what Laura's talked about with these pictures, you can go up Candlewood Lake Road. This
Yeah.
problem goes all the way up
Sure.
Chimney Point.
Yep.
It goes into New Milford's just as bad.
Okay.
Like I said, this is not unique.
No. The solution to it is not gonna be easy.
No.
Well, I mean,
Violation.
We have to
So,
consider the neighbors
going
too,
back,
who
it's
don't have
a
those.
matter of what we wanna permit.
Correct.
So it's not a matter of where it is necessarily as much as what the town wants to deem acceptable.
Correct.
So,
But does the town have a say on private roads in the shores?
no.
No, but it has a say on setbacks from the lines and stuff like that.
Yeah, but it doesn't, setback doesn't matter.
On a
It
private
does,
road.
it does in
well,
the
no,
shores.
it doesn't matter if you set a number
See,
and you
what-
have to comply
Yes,
then
yes.
with the
But,
setback in
but
addition.
already, there is a number and they're not applying, they're not, they're, so in the shores, it's 10 foot from the side.
Yeah, so, but that's cut and dry. That's, whatever we decide with a number
Yeah.
isn't gonna change that. They're still in violation.
Correct.
So,
I wanna see how bad it is. Are they on the
just a
line?
park
Are they
boat?
Oh,
4
no,
feet,
they're-
5 feet?
no, they're all
Or
over
could
the
you
place.
put a car
Yeah,
less
it's
than
not-
10 feet? A
Well,
car's
that's,
okay?
the way that they're laid out, you can park whatever you want. Some people park boats, some people park cars, some
No, the
people
cars
park an
are
RV,
separate.
wagons.
Cars are different regulations.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is the part where they're parking the vehicles. They can park whatever they want. It changes from summer to fall, depending on what they're doing.
But if they park a
As-
car in that designated drive carved out, not complying with the setback regulations as it stands, it is not a violation. If they park a boat there,
It's a
or
violation.
recreational vehicle, it is now a violation.
Right.
And they will have to be
It's currently
registered as
written.
well.
Right.
I don't know if the boats have to be registered,
It's not like we're solving this
but the
tonight.
5 of the 6 cars have to be.
I don't think so.
Motion we table.
Well, the boat,
I think we should
table it.
all go on a,
Scavenger hunt?
yeah, road trip, drive
find my
around the
house.
shores and up Candlewood, Lake Road to see how bad the situation is, how close these boats are, how many of the boats are.
Well,
And
every
even
other
how
house
tall the
on
boats are.
shores, on the lake side, has
Yeah.
a boat and jet skis.
Yeah, so we're,
Every house or every other house
Yeah.
on the lake.
Yeah.
Shores, North Shore, South Shore, has a boat in front of the house.
Yes.
If you change it to
And
a
they're not 10
straight
foot
flat
off the line. They're right
number,
on
that
the-
would help the people that have a boat and jet ski or a boat, a ski boat and a pontoon boat
Yeah.
type thing. That would help them in the respect that, assuming they abide by the setbacks and everything else complies, they could get both of their boats on their property.
yes, yeah,
Right now, as it stands, no matter what they did, even if they were within the setbacks and all that, they're in violation because you're
Yes.
only allowed one.
yes.
Right.
Plus an
So-
empty trailer, yeah.
That would help in that respect for those people that have the room and have the two boats or the boat and the jet ski, jet skis. Keep them, they
Yep.
would be happy.
Yep.
What wouldn't be happy is the ones that don't have the room and still have that stuff. And I don't think
Yeah.
you're going to make them happy.
No,
I think that's still the again, that's still the
Yeah,
problem.
but for argument's sake, if you move the boat up 10 feet, is it gonna help anybody? I don't think
No.
so.
if you move it 10 feet off the sideline,
Yeah,
if I
it's
was
two
living next
boats.
door, I might be, thank you, because I didn't want it right on my,
Might not be
look
right
at.
out your window at
And
that
it
point.
might-
But if it's in the front of the house, it's still in the front of your house.
Not if I'm in my backyard or, in my front yard and I don't, if I have a
I mean,
fence.
some places have regulations, it can't be in the front yard at all,
Right.
Correct.
Yeah,
so,
Some places have regulations that they can't be visible at all. They
Right.
keep
from the
screening.
street, yeah.
So
Right.
it just depends on which direction that the commission feels is appropriate and would like.
I
to-
mean, if that's the case, if they want to do it where you can't have it visible from the street, that eliminates the entire Shores neighborhood of having anything.
All the boats, 200
yeah,
boats.
so we have to
That gives,
consider.
that gives Echo Bay and Canwood East and all the marinas a lot
So
more
when you
money.
drive around, look
Right.
at the height of the boats too, and consider the neighbors who don't have boats, and have to
Most-
live
most-
with it. I mean, they live there, so they made a choice.
Most
but-
of the boats
Exactly, you're gonna, you wanna
Most
be
of the
in a
boats
boat
that are on the
community,
street
get a boat.
are they're pontoons or
And you'll
ski
be
boats,
happy.
and they're under 22 feet,
Yeah.
at least in the shores.
Well, you can't be over 26 feet.
Right.
So,
But-
so anyway, go around, drive, and then we'll discuss this next time. How's that sound? And we'll continue this to the next
Right,
meeting.
where we
Whenever
left
I
off.
drive through the shores, I can't get through because of the cars.
That's the other
Because
problem.
of the boats.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
cars
no,
are
no,
all
no.
there,
They're-
'cause the
they're
boats are
one-way
in the driveways.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, yes,
I opened a can of worms for
I suggest.
I know. This might be the thing that, Sisyphus thing, goes on forever.
That was not the answer she was looking for.
I know, I'm sorry.
Currently, we have a stay on violation until this was going to be
To be
addressed.
resolved?
So,
At least
Don't let
then we
anybody
can get
know that.
Violations
no,
moving forward
everybody
on it.
knows
Oh,
that.
no. All right, I'll take a motion to continue this discussion till our next meeting.
I'll make that motion to continue the discussion in Article 3.1 recreational equipment storage until our next meeting.
Okay, February 26th. All
I'll
right.
second it.
Thank you, Tony. Sean, Tony? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. And any commissioner comments, or did we comment enough about
I think we
stuff?
commented enough.
Who wants to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
We all do.
to adjourn.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Who's second?
I second.
Tony? All in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
That is.